Steve Gamache with another Chef Knives to Go quick look product video. And this time we're looking at the Saji Damascus R2 steel Gyuto 210mm knife. This line of knives has a core steel of R2 powdered metallurgy stainless steel, which has a great combination of toughness, wear resistance, and great steel. The heat treat rating is about 62 to 63 Rockwell on this core steel. The construction is stainless Damascus cladding over the top of that R2 core steel. So this is an all stainless knife, and you can see it's got a gray finish to it. This is one of the more interesting blade styles that you'll see. It's very striking, kind of a gunmetal gray. You can really see that show up there. The weight on this knife is quite light. It's 142 grams, about 5 ounces, and the blade length is 212 millimeters, about 8.3 on the edge. Overall length about 14 inches. The spine thickness above the heel here is about 2.3, and this is a good example of seeing a true Sanmai cladding style. So you've got a sandwich of the softer laminated steel on the outside with the core steel showing on the inside. So Sanmai does not cover that with Warikomi is a term used when you cover the spine with the cladding and you don't see the sandwich. So this is a good example of that. But anyway, the spine pretty much maintains about 2 millimeters and then tapers down towards the tip. It doesn't have a huge distal taper to it. The blade height is about 45.3 millimeters here at the chin heel. And the handle type is one of the semi-custom handles. They offer these with a variety of handles. So this particular one has a octagonal Wenge tiger maple ferrule handle. The circumference is about 73 millimeter, just under 3 inches on this. Beautiful fit and finish on the handle, nice install. This knife has a nicely shaped curve choil into the neck or molto, and gives you plenty of room for a pinch grip. And I will say on fit and finish, they're a little sharp on the edges and squared off on the spine and also the heel area. You may want to hit those with a little sandpaper to maybe round them off just slightly to get a little more comfort out of it. The blade profile is pretty flat overall. It's got a pretty flat profile, so if you don't like a lot of belly in your knife, this might be a perfect candidate for you. Let's put it on our board. Take a look at it. So let's roll it in. It glides in nicely, but it's got a pretty long flat spot. So you can see the flat spot is a pretty good chunk of the blade. And so nice spot for chopping, and not a lot of belly towards the tip. So it's definitely one of those lower rocking type knives, but it does flow nicely into that heel. So again, not a ton of belly, but if a flatter knife profile with a little bit pointier tip is your style, this might be a perfect knife for you. The out-of-the-box edge, I would say, is about a 4, maybe 5 out of 10. It was okay sharp. It didn't have a lot of tooth or bite to it. I did put it to a Shapton Shapton Pro 1.5K, and the R2 steel sharpened up quite well on that stone and took a nice edge. So it's not crazy hard to sharpen if you've got stones that work pretty well with a variety of steels. And let's see, balance point right about there, almost right on the money for a pinch grip. That can vary slightly depending on the handle that's put on these, and they get pretty thin towards the edge. You can see kind of the grind on both sides a little bit flowing into that edge there. The tips on these don't go through product super easily compared to some knives. I'd say the main body of the blade works a little bit better. The cladding seems to be a little bit grippy when wet, and that kind of contributes to a little bit of grip through some product. But overall, it's got a nice blade geometry. It doesn't wedge too much. It flowed pretty well through a lot of products. Like I said, the tip isn't not just going to glide through stuff like some knives. But overall, it's a good performing knife and striking in its appearance. And tough, high edge retention steel. It's a really interesting knife. So there you have the Saji Damascus R2 Gyuto 210mm knife.